woke up in the morning, I say I need one of those. They got me trying all they clothes. They got me trying all they clothes. I swear to God, never
good YouTube. Wherever you're watching this video, I appreciate you for spending your time right here, right now. In today's video, I'm going to be explaining how to get into the sexual underworld as a handsome man. Before we get into the video, I want to say I appreciate all the new supporters and all the supporters who've been here from the start. Welcome to the channel if you are new, and let's get straight into this video. Now, first thing first, for those who are not aware of what the sexual underworld is, well, an underworld in general is just something that's not in mainstream society. Like, it's not something society talks about. It's kind of pushed to the side. And for example, like the crime is the underworld. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're doing stuff illegal they shouldn't be doing. That's an underworld. You know, in the sexual underworld, it's kind of the same thing. It's like the kinks and stuff like that that mainstream society will kind of shame. People who are into those type of things will kind of get together. Like, this could be, you know, BDSM, all that type of stuff. Like, mainstream society isn't going to really talk about that type of stuff. So it's the sexual underworld, pretty much an underworld but for sex. Pretty much, that's the best way I can explain it. If you want a better definition, do a Google search, but that's pretty much it. Now, how can you get into the sexual underworld as a handsome man? Well, first thing first, you need to realize that if you're single, it's going to be harder for you to get in, because look at it like this. Everyone else is kind of making a sacrifice by bringing their partners to these sex parties, these orgies, whatever. They're making a sacrifice by bringing their partners. So it's like you're coming to the table with no sacrifice as a man. And they're not stupid. They're probably thinking you're just trying to run through everyone's girl here, but you're not trying to give anyone your girl. Now, me personally, I'll never be doing anything like that. You know, that's crazy to be, you know, giving your girl to be getting back shots and stuff like that. But hey, if that's what you're into, that's what you're into, you know. But that's not the main aspect of the sexual underworld, but that is an aspect of it, you know, that type of stuff, the orgies and whatnot. But you need to realize, if you're a single male, it's going to be harder for you because everyone else is going to be bringing their partners to these sex parties, etc. And you don't really have to as well. It's not like you have to bring your partner and she has to get fucked by someone, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could bring your partner and you and your partner could just be running through the other females, you know, at these parties. But it is going to be like you're not really making any sacrifice, you know, as a single male. So it's going to be harder for you as a single male. Whereas if you have a partner, it's a lot easier to get invited to these sex parties, etc., and to exist in this sexual underworld. Now, next is your appearance. You need to realize this is a sexual underworld, so sex, right? So if you don't present yourself in a clean, hygienic manner, you're not really going to be approached by someone who may see you as someone they want to invite to these parties. You're not going to really be invited to these parties if you look, you know, unhygienic, because it's sex at the end of the day. No one's trying to catch anything or anything like that. So if you look clean, presentable, you take care of yourself, you're hygienic. Let's say you work out too, you know, because I'm going to get into that, but it's all types of places you can, you know, meet people who are into that type of stuff. So if you're clean, hygienic, present yourself in a proper manner, you can be approached. But if you're unhygienic, they're not really going to approach you because it's sex at the end of the day. And once again, no one wants to catch anything. Now, next, beware of your surroundings. Now, a lot of people, when they hear sex parties and stuff like that, they automatically go to the rich and the famous, you know, the Hollywood sex parties we've all heard about. But you need to realize the sexual underworld is not just specific to the rich and the wealthy. A lot of average people, like a lot of average people you see on a day-to-day basis, you will be surprised what they're into. You know what I mean? Let me just put it like that. You'll be surprised what they're into. So when I say beware of your surroundings, don't just be thinking that it's the rich and the famous who are in the sexual underworld having these sex parties, etc., and existing in this space. It's not just the rich and famous. Your everyday people, you know, who work your everyday jobs, they are into this as well. It's just like, it's kind of like you've got to know someone who knows someone, but your everyday people are into this as well. So beware of your surroundings, because you could be, you know, going to your grocery store and you're completely turned off. You know what I mean? You're not really presenting yourself in the best light, thinking that, hey, this doesn't exist in this type of environment, but it does. You know, it really does. So beware of your surroundings. Now, next, if you are approached by someone who may want to get to know you, this could be anywhere, you know, going out, the gym, you know, maybe on wherever you are, grocery store, you could be approached. When you're approached by a woman, and usually it's older women, it's not really a lot of young women that are into, you know, that type of thing. It's usually older women, not old women, but older women, like not like that. They're not like 20, 23. It's usually older than that. When you're approached by these type of women, or let's say you're approached by a couple or whatever, you just need to, my next point will be to not be judgmental. Whether that's your tone, how you come across, the things you say out your mouth, you need to not be judgmental, because in that type of space, it's a judgment-free zone. You know what I mean? There's no judgment in that type of space. So if someone's approaching you and maybe in the back of your head, you're actually kind of down, but when you speak, it comes across judgmental, then even if they do take your number down or whatever, they're probably not going to hit you up or anything like that if you come across judgmental, because, you know, at the end of the day, people are in a vulnerable space when they're having sex, etc. So if they feel like someone who's judgmental is around, it's kind of going to put people off, not just the people who approach you, but the people in the space as well. It's going to put them off. So try not to come across judgmental if you are trying to get into these type of scenarios and these spaces. Now, last but not least, there's two ways you can do it. This is for the people who stay to the end of the video. There's two ways you can do it. You can naturally be invited to one of these parties. Maybe an older woman approached you. If you're a handsome guy, you know, typically it's going to be someone older approaching you, or maybe a couple, or you may even have a guy approach you. Now, once again, like I said, it just depends if you're into that, you know what I mean? If you're into, like, you know, fucking someone's wife in front of them, you know, a guy may even approach you and say, hey, you know, I'd like you to meet my wife. He might not even say it's for sex or anything. He might just say, you know, you seem like a decent bloke or whatever. You seem like a decent guy. I'd like you to meet my wife. Maybe come around for some drinks or something, you know. But if someone's saying that to you, and you've watched this video, 9 times out of 10, they want to do that type of stuff. You know what I mean? So you may be approached by a guy. There's those those are the natural situations, but there's also paid sex parties where you can pay, go with a couple or as a single guy, you know, and you can do it that way. But I recommend just to wait it out for someone to approach you, because going to the paid ones, like, I don't really know. It's not really, I assume it's not going to be organic. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I can't really speak too much about that, but I assume it's just not going to be organic, and it hits different if you're naturally invited, and you know what I'm saying? Like, the tension is there, you know what I'm saying? Whereas if you're paying to go to one of these parties or whatever, it's a bit, you know what I mean? But it's up to you at the end of the day. I say wait it out. But I appreciate every single one of you. I've just given you a bunch of points on how you, if you want to, get into how you can get into the sexual underworld. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Have a blessed day. Take care of yourselves, and I'm out.